Well, for me anyway, it is like, morning for some of you. But I am beautifying, and um, yeah, I have this on my face for like 20 minutes. Well, let's see, it's almost 1 a.m. for me, and I have intended to go live many times over, I don't know, the last few weeks or so. And I hope some of you are awake and that you'll join me. Um, Let me make all messages visible. Oh, there's a person here. I hope you say hello. Um, so the last video I uploaded was one I recorded like a year ago. And yeah, I haven't really made many new videos lately because I was dealing with a really bad situation, and I felt like if I got on live, I would say way too much. Hi, Betty. How are you? Hi, Luke's. I am doing okayish. Happy Easter to you, too, Crow. This makes it a little difficult to talk. Anyway, this mask that I'm wearing, it probably does nothing, but you know, glow brightening sheet mask. It has caffeine in it, like caffeine for your face. Vitamin C revitalizes for a glowing complexion. So either it will make me glow or it'll give me a rash. So only one way to find out. Amy, how are you all doing? When I ask questions, I feel like kind of like Dora the Explorer. What was your favorite part? That's mine too. I scared you? Sorry about that. It's not gonna stay on forever. Just got back from the Yuma County Fair, Luke's. That sounds fun. Uh oh, it's coming off my chin. I want my chin to glow too. Mm. Now it's kind of suctioning to my nostril. Hi, Kylie. Yeah, I wish it were a glow in the dark mask. That would be a lot of fun. Okay, this is actually reminding me of the time my son had this hockey mask that he was going to wear for Halloween so he could be Jason from Friday the 13th. And I wanted him to go mess with our crazy neighbor. He's not our neighbor anymore. He moved away. But this guy he has this pretty small Rambler next door and like 12 security cameras. And he would go through hours of footage to see whose dog pooped in his yard. And one time, it ended up being a coyote. So, like, you better get after it, you know. Um, we and our neighbors on the other side, their dogs kept escaping, and they messed up his bark, his beauty bark, and he took them to court over it. So yeah, we were pretty much walking on eggshells when he lived next door to us. And you, Crow says, I wish one of my neighbors would move away. So anyway, um, remind me that I'm leading up to the hockey mask story, okay? I'm really good at going off on tangents. But this is a good story. Anyway, so um luckily we don't have dogs. Well, right now we do. Our friend has been staying with us for coming up on 3 months. And well, we actually took her dog in before we had her come stay with us. So yeah, he's been here for 3 months, and he's cute. We love him. Um, but yeah, if we still had our neighbor living next door, we would say no, no, we can't have any dogs here. So anyway, the very first time I ever talked to him, he asked me, "So, how many more kids you planning on having?" It's a very personal question. And I was pregnant with Sabrina at the moment, and that's just really not a question to ever ask a pregnant woman because you're not going to get an accurate answer, probably, because lots of pregnant women just feel like, well, this is enough because this is miserable. But, I was pretty sure we weren't going to have any more, but that was none of his business. And I just ignored him and wouldn't answer the question. And he asked me that a couple more times. And I said, "How many more dogs are you planning on getting?" And he goes, "Well, tell you what, every time you have another kid, I'm getting another dog." Like, he said in this very hostile way. And I just said, "That sounds fair." And I still, would not answer the question. Like, I'm not telling you about our reproductive plans. But I tell you, it was tempting to have another kid just to upset him. So anyway, yeah, he said he had a security camera that's like pointing at the mailboxes across the street, and who knows where else. And so, one day for my amusement, when Eric, our son, had his hockey mask, I said, "Eric, I want you to go out to the mailboxes with your back turned to his house. I want you to keep your back turned for a good while. And then I want you to slowly turn and face his house. And I want you to stand there for a good solid 5 minutes or so. And that way, when he's doing his daily review of his security camera footage, he'll be like, what the heck?" I, well, that makes me like a really good mom, right? He never said anything about it, but I also considered faking a pregnancy just so he would lose his mind. And then I could stuff my shirt, I could waddle out to the mailboxes, and then later on come out there with a doll under a blanket because it's so inconvenient to him when we have children because, he's the one being woken up all night long by our babies, right? So anyway, oh, and he would tell us it was his dream to not have any neighbors, to live out in the sticks. And I just wanted to tell him that's our dream too, for you to live out in the sticks. There are some other stories too, but um, anyway, what happened next? Eventually, he was getting ready to put his house on the market, and he he was big on HOA rules and enforcing them, although he wasn't on the HOA board. But he liked to, complain about people who weren't keeping the rules or paying their dues. And, like, he had a rant about pretty much everyone. Like, I'm trying to remember him saying anything nice about any neighbor ever. Oh, yeah. He would complain. So he was married before. He complained that there was a neighbor that watched his wife when she was sunbathing. Uh, I don't know about that. So, anyway, he was getting ready to sell his house. And I made a video about this cake I made for my friend Bob. Okay, there's two different Bobs. Bob, who is our neighbor in our cul-de-sac. And because our neighbor was so big on enforcing the rules for everyone else, when he had his trailer out on the street for more than 24 hours, that's against the HOA rules. Well, Bob, our neighbor, decided he would report him to the HOA. What he didn't realize is that um, the neighbor had a friend on the HOA board, and she told him that Bob reported him to the HOA. And she later told me, well, Bob antagonized him. I'm like, well, how did he antagonize him? She should not have told the other neighbor that Bob reported him. But at first, Bob denied it. No, I didn't. But later he told me, yeah, I did. Because he's super obnoxious. And so one day his trailer was in the driveway. He put up this plywood sign that he spray painted with black lettering that said, "Kiss my A, Bob." And it was just propped up in the back of the trailer. And like Bob's grandkids were walking by this, like they come home from school, walking home from the bus stop, and see this message directed at their grandpa. And um, it was actually my kids who told me about it. They got home from school and said, "Ugh, he has this sign up that telling Bob to kiss his A." And so I wrote to the board and said, "Isn't there a rule against this kind of thing? Like, if someone wants to buy in the neighborhood, I don't think, you know, a show of animosity like that is gonna make it look like a great neighborhood to live in." Or maybe the opposite. Maybe people will go, "Oh, got some drama here. That's kind of entertaining." But probably it would be more of a turnoff. And anyway, after I reported the sign, um, coincidentally, a store bought sign went up. It was like an arrow going both ways that said, "Kiss my A." So one arrow was, pointed towards our house, and one the other way. I thought, I think that might be directed at me. And then he nailed the plywood sign that he had made to the fence. And I was updating my friends on Facebook about this all the time, and it was like everyone's entertainment. I said, "We have reached DEFCON 5. He nailed the Bob sign to the fence. I repeat, he nailed the Bob sign to the fence." And yeah, his house was just about to go on the market, and I'm sure his real estate agent really loved working with him. So then it came down, and yeah, pretty positive that same HOA lady told the neighbor that I reported his sign. And I had friends, they had all sorts of ideas. Like one of my friends wanted to come over and put up a sign that said bend over. It was so wonderful when he moved. Just oh, so relaxing. And now we have a couple next door. They have a couple kids now. They had like two babies during the pandemic. And oh, and they have like three cats, and we love the cats. There's like one there's one cat that well before my friend's dog was here, like she would actually come over and she wanted loves all the time, and um sometimes she'd even come in to be held. It's like having a cat without really having a cat. Oh, time to take my beautiful mask off. Here we go. Am I glowing? Did it work? And then I'm supposed to like rub in the product. And then, oh, there was a day where I was outside and the neighbor said, um, I don't remember what we were talking about, but Carmen was outside with me and he was dropping the F bomb like crazy, which was obviously him being passive aggressive. Like, oh, you don't like the language on my side or my sign, so I'm just gonna swear like crazy in front of your preteen daughter. So So anyway, I have another friend named Bob, and he thought this whole thing was so hilarious, and he said, "I really want that sign." And I said, "Well, I can't go steal it for you. I'm sorry, because he's got 12 security cameras. He would see me for sure." So I made him a cake to look like the plywood sign. And then last year I did like a little canvas. Like I wanted to give him like a legit looking one on plywood, but plywood is like $100 a sheet or something. It's crazy. So I thought it was hilarious how amused my other friend Bob thought this was. Oh, and then we had an HOA meeting at one point, and I told our neighbor Bob, the original Bob, that he was like a celebrity with my Facebook friends. And I said, "Can we get a picture together?" Everybody wants to see who Bob is. I still have people asking about this. All right, I'm gonna catch up on some comments here. Okay, so hello to Kylie. Barnes, hello. A scarecrow in our yard. This is a great idea. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Melissa. Yeah, I've been up late a lot lately, so I'm like, I might as well just go live. Lately, I have no idea when I'm going to have any time to myself. Um, my son Andrew, he works like just smack in the middle of the day, and he doesn't have a car, and so I I have to drive him, and it's like I feel like I have a kindergartner again. He's like half day kindergarten because it's like totally breaking up my day, and uh, it's it's just like it's making creativity difficult when it comes to making videos Because you know when you're on a roll, it's like it's hard to stop. Or let's say I need to like put on certain makeup or something for a video, and then oh now I have to leave, and I don't necessarily want to go out the way that I am. I understand if you have to go to bed, Angel Fire. Sometimes I like catch people in Australia though. Yeah, driving my son to work in green witch makeup. That'd be great. So, your doggies woke you up, Crow? Okay, so sorry if I'm in a weird situation in the frame. Um, a while back, I did a live stream where I was telling you guys about a scammer who says they're like a psychic. Well, I made her mad. Let's see, she goes by the real high priestess Ashley on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram and you want to go bother her, please do so. What is her actual username? It's Pries, Pries underscore TIESS Ashley, ASHLEY. The profile says the real high priestess Ashley, spiritual leader, healings, love spell, cleanings, IFA initiation, and I don't know what that means, guidance, beads, and DM for all kind of spell. So, where did I leave off before? I have a couple situations I wanted to share. I I really don't remember where I left off. Cleanings. Sometimes she calls it cleansings. So, let me lower this thingamabob. Okay. I don't want you to miss any of my glowing face. All right. Um. Okay. There was a day where she said she wanted to do a reading. I said, "Do you want me to read to you?" And I read her like an entire children's book. And I said, "Okay, I read to you. Bye. I would like you to partake in my own reading, beloved, to clarify yourself." Hi, Janine. What do you mean? I want you to get another reading done. To know your spiritual path and know where this negativity and toxic energy are coming from. I said, "Oh, I know my spiritual path. Thanks anyway." Okay, sis. Peace be unto you. Ace, ASE. And I don't hear from her for, I don't know, days at a time. And then she tries again. "Hello, beloved sis. When I was meditating, it was review to me that there place a ritual spell on you when you were a baby, beloved." It sounded very much like Sleeping Beauty. "This ritual spell can bring negative energies that can destroy one's life, beloved. I will advise you to take this serious, sis." Yeah, Maleficent was such a hag to drop by and curse me after the 3 nice spells I received. So yeah, I'm gonna die at a young age, but I know where she's vacationing next week, and I hired someone to cut the brake line on her rental car. Gonna laugh so hard when she's dead. Okay, sis, you just need to make a connection with your ancestors. After that, everything will be all right. Okay, I connected with my ancestors. Everything's great. Okay, beloved sis. I have a pain in my hip. Do you think Maleficent made a voodoo doll of me? She says, your great grandparents engaged in a blood rituals long time ago in which they were required to set up an altar long ago and make consultations and spells practicing. The spells obviously were made with good intent and was probably for protection, but you know, all anything concerning a blood ritual will always have adverse effects later on. Even if it's not on them, it will be transferred through their lineage to the next generations. Well, maybe at the time they didn't know the spells had adverse effects, so it's really not their fault because no one wants harm on their generations. I said, I think you must I think you must have me mixed up with someone else. My grandpa was too drunk to do any rituals. Okay, sadly true. Well, just one of my grandpas. Okay, beloved sis, it seems you know better than I do, but a time shall come you will understand what I'm telling you now. Do you know when I forgot about this. Okay. I said, do you know when I'm gonna get my silver play button? It's better you end to it now before it will be too late for you, sis. Put an end to what? To all your pains. I feel better now. Maybe Maleficent died. Okay, my dear, I strongly advise you have a pure cleansing. I will perform this cleansing for you and cast out all bad energies away and remove all blockages upon your life, and you will be filled with pure light and blessings from Olodumare. Olodumare? Olodumare. No idea what she's talking about. I said, oh, cool, but I had some bran muffins earlier. Okay, sis, but I advise you take another one. Another bran muffin? Yes, beloved. That's too much bran. My blockage has been cleared. Okay, sis. She strikes out again. This is March 2nd. Comes back on March 8th. Have you ever had a dream which you did not understand what it means when you are at sleep? No. What a bummer for her. March 16th. She's very persistent. I asked this because I sensed a strange energy vibration from around you. Do you know anything about that? Yep. Oh, cat, beloved sis, I'm drawn to your beautiful, unique nature. It's probably because of my glowing skin, right? I love those who choose to walk their own path. I can see the strength within you to do so regardless of negative forces pulling you back. You have a bright light within yourself meant for movement. We are here for a new earth. You are a part of that. We can feel each other. As a spiritual intuitive, I feel your divine energy. We are different because we help pave the path. The universe has many things in store for you, my friend. You are meant for great things as well. I feel it, and I advise you see into it. I said, thank you. Okay, beloved sis. My dear, I strongly advise you have a pure cleansing. I will perform this cleansing for you and cast out all bad energies away and remove all blockages upon your life, and you will be filled with pure light and blessings of your special baby from Olodumare. What the heck is she talking about now? Special baby? As soon as you make the offering, we shall proceed with the consultation cleanings. So, the offering, she finally brought up the money bit. I said, I don't want to be pregnant again unless it's to make my neighbor angry. That's really the only reason at this point. But he's gone. Okay, beloved sis, can we proceed with the consultation cleanings? I don't understand what that is. Will you love to have a spiritual readings and cleanings with me? Know more all about your life, beloved sis? When I was mediated, it was review to that there was a ritual which was placed in you when you are baby. Do you know anything about that? And you have been having some dreams which you did not understand what it means when you are at sleep. Will you love to do a consultation reading and cleanings with me? I don't get it. I'm drawn to your beautiful, unique nature. I love those who choose to walk their own path. I can see the strength within you to do so regardless of negative forces pulling you back. You have a bright light within yourself meant for movement. We are here for a new earth. You are part of that. She already said this crap before. Universe has many things in store for you, my friend. You are meant for great things as well. I feel it, and I advise you to see into it. So, makes this long speech to me again, and I said, oh, have you ever had a consultation reading and cleanings before? I had my teeth cleaned. The past few months have not been the easiest. A lot of fears were being triggered, and you may have found yourself falling into a lack mindset at times. You were dealing with a lot of anxiety coming to the surface. I see a big spiritual awakening coming to your aid. As a spiritual guide and healer, I will guide you to your manifestation and affirmation, sis. Huh? Will you love to do a consultation reading and cleanings with me to know more all about your life? I don't understand. My dear, I strongly advise you to have a pure readings and cleansing. I will perform this readings and cleansing. She went from cleaning to cleansing. For you and cast out all bad energies away, remove all blockages upon your life, and you'll be filled with pure light and blessings of your special baby from Olodumare. Again, with a special baby. As soon as you make the offering, we shall proceed, and the consultation readings and cleanings. Offering? Do I have to throw one of my children into a volcano? Your last requirement, you make a willful donation to how you feel. This to show your gratitude and sincerity before your ancestors, then we shall proceed. You just have to make an offer of anything you have, then we shall proceed. Feel free. I'll give you Eric. Hey, she said I could give however much I wanted, and then she comes back with, it's $89. I could get a massage for $89. Amount you feel like to give for the consultation, readings, and cleansing. I said, Eric is worth way more. He cooks. My dear, we will have to make purchase of the traditional materials needed for this cleansing. My dear, the materials for the cleansing cost $80. And once I get the money, I will go to the traditional market and buy the traditional materials, and we shall proceed the cleansing without hesitation. Just took a huge dump and I feel much better. Okay, beloved sis, I will advise you to take this serious. A lot will change in your life, and positive energy will locate you and your family, beloved sis. I'm taking it very seriously. Can we proceed with your readings and cleansing immediately, beloved sis? I am much willing to help you carry out the readings and cleansing immediately, beloved sis. I prefer in person cleanings, actually, cleansings. Okay, sis, shall we proceed with the cleansing? Are you there? I feel fine. Okay, I sense a dangerous attack against you and your family. That's okay, we're armed. It will be retro you if you are willing to do a consultation readings and cleansing with me. Retro? Yes, beloved sis. I don't know what that means. Dangerous attack, beloved sis, that can destroy one's life. Oh, it's very important the consultation cleansings. Someone very close to you is planning evil. The person is jealous about your progress. I don't think anyone's jealous of me. Ha! I said, ha! How pathetic of them. I think I know who it is, and they will pay. Many of them, beloved sis. Like all my friends are turning on me. Maybe you should give them a cleansing. They're the ones being jerks. My dear, I strongly advise you have a pure readings and cleansing. I will perform this back to the special baby and Volodymyr. Skipping that. As soon as you make the offering, blah, blah, blah. I said, I don't understand this special baby thing. I already did horrific natural labor 5 times. Okay, so we can proceed with your readings and cleansing so that positive energies can locate that or locate you. What? Can we proceed with your readings and cleansing? No, I'm busy. Okay, beloved sis, we have it here, beloved sis. Are you there? I said I'm busy. Okay, beloved sis. You shouldn't relent in anything you do. There's lots of toxic and negative energies around you. You might feel you push them away, but there are some hypocrites posting to be your friend, but are all about your downfall. Oh, a bidet. Angel fire. Yes, I should get a bidet. Thank you. That's a good idea. Wait, are you talking to me or someone else? Everyone should get a bidet. Bidets for all. Oh, okay. After she said all these negative things, I said, then how come I feel so good? The negative is getting worse day by day. Maybe you're the one who needs a cleansing. I feel great. Okay, beloved sis. Okay. Then yesterday, she suddenly messaged me and said, Waka. Huh? So I looked it up, and that term in Nigeria means F you. That, no, it's Waka, Waka. So I sent her this little gif. Look, it's baby Fozzie. Waka waka. And she hasn't answered me since. Should I tell her I'm ready for my cleansing? I'm ready for my cleansing and my stupid special baby. How about that? Are you there? I need it now. All caps. And we'll see if she tells me to go waka myself again. Okay. Anyway, so volcano dental floss. This chat has gotten interesting. Hi, Cisco. Hello in Italy. Um, yeah, gonna assume yes that this scammer is from Nigeria. Um, oh, Cliff is here. Hi, Cliff. Oh, Cliff is just waking up. Sometimes it's fun to do a live late at night because then I catch people on the other side of the world. Janine says, I must have a curse on me. I had a dream I don't understand last night. I do need a spa day. I actually have that on my list of things to do. Okay, she hasn't answered. What time is it in Nigeria? I have a world clock thing on my iPhone. I um, have like a list of places that I like to see the time, and got Lagos at the top. 9:31 a.m. She probably stayed up late trying to give people psychic readings. Okay, I have another situation that's been going on for a long time. I love you too, Angel Fire. Okay, so there's this guy who started chatting me up on Instagram, and I had told him that, oh, it's too bad you're an old white guy because I'm only into hot young Nigerian men. And then he ended up admitting that he was Nigerian and like, well, what if told you this was my hand? And I go, oh, are you pretending to be a young hot Nigerian man? And he says, laugh out loud, I think you know who I am. So he's been trying to do like the long con with me, and it's been a long conversation. Sometimes I'll just like ask him questions about Nigeria. So recently their currency failed and they had an election, and some his name's Deji. He told me that their election was basically a sham. Um, he says it's not a real election. And during the holidays, I faked a coma. I am just, tired of talking to him. I had too much going on. Okay, so he made a crazy request. There was another time where he said, I need to talk to you about something. He's always asking, so why haven't we ever talked on the phone? And I'm like, oh, I'm just too busy. Irene, this is an Irene conversation. And I just said, well, I'm too busy doing personal assistant work for this woman named Carol, blah, blah. I'm always making up stuff that I'm doing for Carol, like sending out invitations for parties for her and just all sorts of random stuff. Okay, so he sent me a message one day and said, I need your help with something. Let's see. You see it? Little sniff sniff. Okay, there it is. Sad face. Is it backwards to you guys? It's showing backwards for me. I need your help with something. It's like, dude. There was a time where he asked if he could borrow money. It's like, get real. Yeah, I'm sure you're just planning on borrowing. So I said, what? Your email? I'm trying to sign up for something, but I'm not getting online jobs because of my region. Very creative. You need access to my email? Yes. Can you help me with that, please? I'm just trying any way possible to make money legally. People don't give Nigerians jobs. So you want my password and everything? Email and password. That's all. And then you can go in and read my emails, which contains not just my private info, but others as well. I don't have any business with that. If I give you my email and password, you can read my email. You would be able to see all my photos too. I honestly thought there'd be a little bit of trust between us by now. And as far as seeing all my photos, he says, this isn't a bad thing. Laugh face. I said, just get a VPN or something so they don't know where you're coming from. Won't work. I tried everything already. I don't trust anyone on the planet enough to give them access to my email. Not my mom, siblings, no one. All right. What happens when you have to give them your banking info to be paid anyway? They'll still find out you're in Nigeria. Payment is made on the website that I withdraw via Bitcoin. Carol would fire me for sure if someone could read my emails between us. Why would I read it? What does it do to my life? A legit company that pays through Bitcoin? That's the funny thing. I honestly don't have time. Oh, yeah. My email account would just be this boring thing he doesn't have time to read. Bitcoin isn't illegal. And Bitcoin is a form of payment. It was just an instance. I've never dealt with Bitcoin. Why? Do you mean trade it? Or you've never done anything with it? Okay, let's say you get a job using my email and you need to read messages to you. You are automatically going to see all of my emails, at least the recent ones. As long as it doesn't have to do with my job. I won't even go near it. I don't even read my emails. Wait, let me show you. You don't even know what kinds of messages I receive. So he shows me that he has 300 unread emails. That is nothing. I get an email every time someone leaves a comment on my channel. And like I read the comments in the app, and so I don't usually open the ones in the comments, but sometimes it comes in handy when I'm trying to search for a comment someone made. Sometimes it's easier to find it in email. But yeah, I don't open it. I seriously have probably 20,000 unread emails. Very embarrassing. Someone who doesn't read his own mails would have time for another. Laugh out loud. So after I said, you don't even know what kind of messages I receive, he says, what kind? And then I'm telling him that he would read the emails if it was juicy enough. Yeah. Won't you know if your emails have been read? I said, I have over 20,000 unread emails, and I would definitely read anything that looked shocking. I don't even have the time nor energy for that. No, I wouldn't know if you read emails that were already read.
Haven't even read my books, so it emails I'm gonna read.
You wouldn't even have to open them to see a lot of the content.
It's fine if you don't trust me enough to give me. I didn't even have any plans of reading emails. They're private.
Gmail is connected to everything documents, photos, etc. I would have to be completely nuts to give the password to anyone. I never even gave it to my ex. And then I said, my password is Deji WTF are you thinking asking for my password 419 question mark exclamation point.
He goes, laugh my A off. 419? Really? After all these months, laugh out loud. Disappointed, I won't lie.
Oh, he's gonna guilt trip me. I said, oh, I asked my family how the heck they accessed my phone when I was in my coma. They took my hand and unlocked it with my thumbprint. I felt so violated.
If my need water. If my intentions were even fraudulent, I wouldn't have sent my pictures.
How would I even know there even is real pictures? They felt like they needed to access my contacts to tell people I was dying. So embarrassing. I'm sure my brother saw my photos. It's a joke, Deji.
What photos are those? Send me pictures, laugh out loud.
Oh my gosh. No.
Why? But I send you all the time.
He does not send me photos all the time. He sent me maybe 3 photos. You want the ones I'm embarrassed about. He tried to video call me. No.
No, I just want your pictures. Any.
I'm not the doctor. I look like garbage.
I don't mind. Just send any.
I mind.
Laugh out loud. All right then. Think I'm way past all this. There's nothing in this friendship or whatever. Wish you luck and hope you get better.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
And then I sent him a bunch of ranting voice messages.
He says, if that's what you feel, okay. That was never my intention. Laugh out loud. I wasn't hurt about the email. You actually say WTFGGHJHB419. Laugh out loud. I guess I don't deserve a reply.
I said, what's the GGHJHB part?
It's me being lazy to type the rest of what you said. Laugh out loud.
So I thought he was going to be done with me, and then I sent him a photo of some ribs that I made.
He says, what are those white things?
Bones?
Where's mine? Laugh out loud.
I said, this is like what every Nigerian scammer does. Like, if you show them something that you made,
where's mine?
I sent him the recipe. I said, now you can make some.
It's about where to get them. I don't think they sell ribs here.
I said, just butcher a random cow.
Laugh out loud. You're saying it so casually. A cow here is almost 400,000.
400,000 what? Dollars?
Naira. What about there?
I don't know.
Okay. How's your health now?
Well, I'm not in a coma, so that's nice.
Have you fully resumed work? How about pictures? Laugh out loud.
Currently staring at my ceiling. I sent him a photo of my ceiling.
Laugh out loud. Of your face.
Give him a really unattractive close up of my face. See that? The dark circles around my eyes are super hot.
Laugh out loud. Are you gonna send one or just keep playing with me?
I sent him some disappearing photos. Cleaned out my fridge and I look disgusting. You're welcome.
Hey, beautiful. And no, you don't.
Maybe you need glasses.
I'm serious. Why aren't you sleeping? Laugh out loud.
I finally went to bed, sick of my house being a mess.
Sorry. Are your family members still around?
Yes. So, my imaginary family members have been living with me ever since I came home after my coma, and that just gives me more excuse not to talk to him on the phone because there's always someone listening. So, I just don't really want to talk to him on the phone. Maybe eventually.
So I said yes. Which? My brother right now. Okay. How's Carol? She's doing okay. She dropped the kids off at my place to get a break. Thankfully, they're not toddlers anymore, but they're loud. How long would they be at your place? All day. Randy is so fed up with dealing with them. Okay, Randy is Carol's husband's assistant, and they're having an affair. Scandalous, you guys. Scandalous. Then he says, "When should I come?" Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's all he wants is to come over here. Why? Are you offering to watch them? Ha 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 ha. Not them, to watch you. I hope you enjoy being bored to death. Who says I will be bored? Because I'm boring AH as heck. Can't do much of anything, and Carol's kids walked all over me. Are they still around? Oh, he says I'm boring until I meet him. They're asleep on my floor, slumber party. They sense my weakness and know I can't run after them. Why do you need to? I thought they are teenagers. No, they're not. How old are they? 9 and 7. I don't remember if I told him before how old they were. I hoped I was being consistent. I've made up so many things now. It's just, hard to keep track of my lies. Well, I always used to think they were. They could drive themselves if they were teenagers. So, just a bunch of back and forth with him. And trying to see if there's anything else. Well, that's right. I showed him something the scammer sent to me once in a while ago. Look at this stupid scammer. Um. Oh, he says he paints his mom and sister's nails. It's actually kind of nice if that's true. Oh, wait. Okay. I gotta read these. Hang on. I forgot about this guy. All right. So I had posted on Irene's Instagram, this is what my life is now. So I was playing one of these word games and I was able to play the word penis and I highlighted it. And the guy he totally missed the whole point of the post. And like he left some comment on the post. And then he private messaged me and he goes, "Hi pretty. Penis." What does that mean? If you don't know what penis means, you have problems. You have problems too. Nuh-uh. I know what it is. I'm asking why penis. Penis, penis, penis. Why not penis? Oh, you want it? Want what? Penis. Why would I want that? Because I don't know why you keep on saying it. What? Penis? Yeah. Penis! And then I went looking for an appropriate GIF or GIF. Something about a banana. Whatever. You want me to give you mine? Your what? Penis, of course. We can blank. Why? Penis, of course. What does that mean? Because it seemed you'd like it. Like what? I said, "Are you there?" They always do that. Are you there? Okay, so when I posted the word thing, here it is. Okay. See, like, I highlighted the word. And I said, "I've been sick. This is my life now." And he wrote, "Sorry." And I actually replied to him in the comments, "Penis." I can't even read some of this stuff. Nope. Skip that. Oh no, this conversation scrolled back up, back to the bottom. Oh man. All right, scale it back. So I showed that conversation to Deji. And he said, "Why did you write penis? Good morning." I said, "Because he was too stupid to understand my joke post with the word game. You paint nails? That's awesome." He says, "It's easy, can't you?" I'm lost. I don't understand. No, it always looks like a 3-year-old did it. I am really bad at painting nails, and like Sabrina is for real better at it than me. See the letters I highlighted in my word game? Oh, yeah, I did. He missed the joke, so I'm just making fun of him. Do you think he's real? He was liking all of my posts to get my attention. No, he's a scammer. This is definitely not him. I shared a picture of whatever photo the guy was using. The guy called me fool, and I said Mugu, which means fool. Um, he called me a prostitute. That's not nice. He said your mother is a Mugu. Don't bring my mom into it. I said I gotta go poop later. Then he said, blank your dad. I said, you want to get it on with my dad? I'll ask him. He says he's not available. I mean, blank your dad. So I told Deji I made him pretty mad. Showed him another one that just followed me. Just showing Deji that this scammer stuff is really stupid. Showing him just like how saturated the internet is with scammers, and they're all just like, ruining it for each other. This is why they can't get anyone to respond to them. So he said Mugu is a Nigerian word, so yeah, he's fake. He says you're good at identifying them. Um, I told him I said Mugu to him first. He goes, where did you hear that word? I said the bio was stupid. He goes, very. I heard it from other scammers. Makes me laugh so hard too when their bio just says gmail.com. This is beyond lazy. Like, I've been banned hundreds of times and I can't think of bios anymore. Often when I told them they're scammers, they accuse me of being Nigerian. I don't understand this. They seriously do. Have you ever asked why? It's so obvious. I said, they think they're smart. They can't comprehend someone not thinking they're real. True, just woke up. Good morning. Your morning is my bedtime. Yeah, laugh out loud. What's up with you? Anyway, blah blah blah. Just, told him a bunch more lies about my health. I don't know why I'm still talking to him. My mask scared you, Laura? Hi, Debbie. Okay, and then I wanted to tell you guys about another message I got. Which account was it? Requests. Okay. All right. It was my Music is a Rainbow account. Very interesting way to approach me. Assuming a Nigerian guy named Ife Anyi Chiyoke Egbanuba. Egbanuba. I don't know. Very long name.
So this is a message request I haven't approved yet. He says, "How are you? Sorry, I'm not a scammer and I will never be part of such act as social media now is too scary. I'm only asking if we can be friends and I will prove to you that I'm real." That is a really weird way to approach someone. So I guess he has gathered that I mess with scammers. Um, so he thinks he can just convince me that he's not a scammer, and then we can be friends, and then later he can ask me if for a favor, right? Like a favor like asking for my email and password so he can borrow my email account, right? Or can you borrow $500? So yeah, these dummies make me giggle sometimes, and other times I get really tired of them. Hi, Harris Straza. Pleasant Green had a scammer ask him to do satanic rituals to join an obvious fakey. Oh, oh, it says fake scam Illuminati. Oh my. So I'm trying to think if I have any other updates. Life has just been so crazy lately. And oh, Jared came home for a week or so for spring break, so spent more time with him. And I will talk a little bit about this. So, there is a man who was arrested earlier this month, and he was obviously grooming kids, and he was in um, a place where I used to live. And after I moved away, multiple friends were telling me about him and everything he was doing, and like very obviously obsessed with little boys. And then there was a situation where, so I had gotten, like, I made a mental note of his name and face in case I ever ran into him, which I didn't expect to. And I um, ended up at an event where he was the photographer, and I said, "Oh no, nope." And I had a friend confirm who he was because I saw his face. I was 99% sure it was him. I said, "What's that guy's name?" And she told me, and I said, "Yeah, we have a problem." And he just, so many people thought that he's on the spectrum, and somehow that explained his quote boundary issues, which is ridiculous because he's high functioning, and like I have a nephew with autism, and he's never, actually I have two nephews with autism, never done anything like this. It's just, it's not an explanation for this behavior at all. He had also been talked to about it, so that's just maddening. But yeah, I got him kicked out
as a photographer, and I followed him all over the building until I could get him removed and, talk to leaders about it. And that was 2018. And ever since then, I've just been like waiting for the day that he gets arrested, which is horrible because the more time passes, and the more children I know he was hurting. And I had warned two of my friends. I said, keep an eye on that guy because I had to go run an errand. And they said, oh, okay. And then during cleanup at the end of the day, everyone was outside. He should have been helping clean up. And my friend found him alone with her son sitting on some steps, and was like, he saw that he was reading a book about war, and so he sits next to him and starts um, showing him some YouTube videos of explosions and stuff. And so when I had to awkwardly approach someone and say, hey, I hate to tell you this, but he can't be the photographer because he is a groomer. That was it was a difficult conversation, and my friend was able to back me up when there was some pushback, and she said, I found him alone with my son. And like, this is like, in the past 6 years, I've dealt with like three sexual deviant situations, and like all three times people have said they're on the spectrum. I'm like, you guys, you're not experts on autism or grooming. It's really hard because like people I know who they're very good hearted. And yeah, people have learned a very hard, painful lesson. So I've been extremely pissed off and upset for weeks. I'm just like very not in the mood to make videos, but I very much want to talk about this situation. But it's hard to talk about it without giving out like too much like personal information. But um yeah, I just like been in this frame of mind where I just I want to get involved, and I want to be able to do something to help fight this sort of thing and raise awareness and educate. And like, I'm so sick of it. Like, it's like, it's when I take my girls places. I mean, it was like this with my boys too, but my boys are grown now. But it's like, it's hard to enjoy myself because I feel like I'm on pervert watch all the time, everywhere I take them. And I had never taken them to a wedding before. So I took them to a wedding, and we're in the buffet line. And this man I've never met in my life, doesn't know me, doesn't know Sabrina, starts poking her tummy in the buffet line. And I'm like, I don't want to ruin my friend's wedding, but I want to just explode at this man. Why are you touching my daughter? But I'm also observing, like, okay, is there something wrong with him mentally that he thinks this is okay? So, people don't want to judge people, and they don't want to, especially, be mean to someone who has a disability. But a grown man has to have heard this lesson by now, that you don't touch kids
who don't belong to you. You know, especially don't go around tickling them. Oh my gosh, it pissed me off so bad. But yeah, I didn't want to ruin my friend's wedding. And but that's how these guys get away with this kind of crap, is they do it in plain sight and they do it in shocking situations because they know people don't want to make a scene. And I am like, I'm done with not making a scene now. Like, I just. I am like, I'm beyond fed up. And, you know, some of us have learned these lessons the hard way. Some of us learn at an early age to spot who is a sicko. Thank you, Angel Fire. So, yeah, dude got arrested. He's been bailed out twice now. Why should anyone who molests a child get out on bail? Like, I don't understand that at all. First, he was bailed out for $100,000. Then he was bailed out for $200,000. And I'm like, who the heck is bailing him out? Like he was so brazen. It's disgusting. Like I would love to do sting operations. It's like more than anything right now, I want to be a part of putting people like him away. I just feel like our state is like they're so like light on sex offenders. I don't get it. Years ago, um, a friend of mine, um, this is like in grade school, she told a friend that her stepdad was abusing her. And then her friend told my mom, who was a mandatory reporter, and my mom called the police. And it didn't seem like anything happened to the guy. All I know is that I never saw my friend again because she went to live with her dad. And, you know, I still saw him around and I thought, okay, was he not found guilty? Well, recently I learned how to look up things in the court portal. It's been like decades of wondering what consequences this guy faced. Um, and it turned out, yeah, he and his wife were charged by the state, and with her there was an added charge of failure to report something that she witnessed, and her like her mom never talked about her ever again. She acted like she didn't exist, and it was bizarre. But yeah, both of them were charged with. I think they probably got like a, a plea bargain. Um, Indecent liberties and communication with a minor for immoral purposes. And I've also learned that I thought like being on the registry was like a forever thing, but apparently it's not. So I was reading more about that today. So if it's a class A felon, you could be on there permanently. If it's class B, usually like 15 years. Class C, and I don't know which sexual crimes fall under A, B, and C. Class C could be 10 years. And yeah, I'm not sure how they determine um, what class it falls under, or if a person is a level 1, level 2, or level 3. But it's like I know a guy who was caught with thousands of files of children. He didn't even serve any time at all. And he also admitted to sexting with children, and he only got probation and sex offender treatment. That was it. That I think that is so disgusting. I think there should be at least some prison time for people who do that kind of thing. So I'm like, what else could I do to help? Can I help change laws? It's disgusting. All right, I'm gonna read some comments. And it's also been shocking to me, like how many people um, just have different views of how these people should be dealt with. All right. Oh, hello. I can't quite see your name. Is it Queeby? Thanks so much for being here. Okay, Melissa, I'm going to read your comments here. Read some other comments too. Yeah, so when I followed that pervert all over the building, he looked visibly annoyed, and I did not care. Like, if you're gonna brazenly groom, I'm gonna brazenly follow you all over the building, you sick little monkey. I actually had another friend helping me because there was a room that had like two doors on different sides. So I'm like, you take that door, I'll take this door. Like, we're not gonna let you be alone with a child for even a second. Well, Laura said, my dog woke me up and wanted a treat. Oh, dogs. Cliff says, unfortunately, there's a lot of them out there and not enough police to catch them. Yeah, that's true. I think that's part of the issue. And so they, as far as like long probationary periods and stuff, they have to pick the worst of the worst. And, you know, Laura says, my nephew is a 37-year-old on the spectrum. My niece and nephew take care of him. He has boundary issues too, but he has to take responsibility. She says, he mostly just wants to hug you, but not everyone wants to hug a sweaty 6'2" man. Yeah. Social media has made behavior possible. Yeah, that's one of the worst parts of the internet, or the worst part, I would say. Yeah, Alora says recognizing grooming, that's something no one talked about back in the day. I actually, right before one of the victims was molested, I wrote a blog post about grooming and how my parents taught me what it was and were like very vocal about um if they saw someone who acted like a pervert, they would just tell me so. um so anyway, I wrote this blog post hoping my friends in my old town would read it and recognize the situation, because I couldn't just get on my blog and say and name the the pervert, you know, because that could have been um, considered libel. So I spoke vaguely about the situation, and there was one friend who said, I know what you're talking about. I thought, hallelujah. So he knew to keep uh, his his kids away from him. Um, but yeah, there were still people who were falling for the he's just a lonely guy who wished that he had a family of his own and he really loves kids, blah blah blah. So there were people who felt that way about him, and then there were other people who were sounding the alarm, saying red flag, you know. Um, this behavior is not okay. Debbie says, oh, I made one hell of a scene. I saw something like that. First, I got the little girl to her parents, made sure she was okay, and then it got bad. Oh no. YouTube frowns on those trying to bust pads. Um, yeah, mixed feelings about that, because people kind of get themselves into dangerous situations when they're not law enforcement. Um, for me, I would like to assist law enforcement in a way that they approve. Obviously not in shape to like physically bust anyone, but I would gladly help track um, pedophiles down, uh, wherever it is that they hang out. Okay, Melissa said, when I was a child, I went to my friend's house, and when her mom left for work, it rapidly became clear what the situation was. I was fine, but I legit hit him in the head with a mop handle. Wow. Uh, was it the dad? Hard enough that he fell on the floor. Took my friend and ran outside. Good for you. Laura, I'm glad that there are good changes happening in your state. Oh, Melissa says he did not complain to my mother. She knocked a guy out and he didn't tell her mom. Yeah. Guilty much? I told my family and asked them to do something. They were too uncomfortable. All that happened was I never went over there anymore and didn't really see her much after that. It was years before she told her mother and he went to jail. I feel terrible that I didn't tell a teacher or someone else, but I was only 9. I have to tell myself I did all I knew to do then. That's true. You did.
So yeah, thanks, Melissa. I'm definitely gonna do a spa trip. Like this year has just been one stressful thing after another. This is true. Melissa says so many people as adults are too uncomfortable to do anything unless they actually see graphic abuse. Yeah. Um, so there was one situation uh, when I was a kid. We used to go to the swimming pool, and there was this one man who we knew. He didn't have kids, but he was always in the pool holding other people's kids. And my mom said, "You know what? You know why he's doing that? Because it's hard to see where his hands are." I said, "Oh wow, you're right." So yeah, she didn't shield me from that kind of thing because my mom was abused, and like there were a couple times she was abused right in front of her dad's face because her dad was drinking. He was too drunk to be aware of what was going on, and then she'd have to tell him later, "Hey, your friend molested me." So, um, and then another time it was an uncle by marriage, and my grandpa threatened to off him, and he actually left. He took off because he was scared of him. He like I don't think he said goodbye to his wife or anything. So Laura says, sad to say, but our churches are places where pedos hide. Yep, absolutely. And there are people who say that churches like make people into pedos. I'm like, that's not true. They will go anywhere where they can have access to children. So yeah, I've been very untrusting when it comes to getting my kids involved in certain activities. Like there was a day where so I knew a friend was going through something really hard. And then suddenly I was watching the news, and then her boys were on the news confronting their abuser in court, and he was their baseball coach. He had lied, like he was really 38 years old, and he said he was 24 years old to make him sound like more of a big brother kind of figure. And he got in good with the family, so that's a big thing. Is they will become um, really good friends with the family, so that the entire family trusts them. And then he was able to invite their boys over to his house. And then another thing they will do is get kids to do something that they feel like they would get in trouble about. So, like showing them pornography or giving them alcohol. So then there's this extra layer of shame where the kid feels like, if I tell my parents, I'm also going to have to tell them about the part where he got me drunk. So it was very shocking. Like just suddenly her sons are on the news bawling their heads off and lashing out at their abuser, and he was, I think, it was like their statement for how harshly he should be sentenced. So yeah, and in churches, they know the nature of people is we're not supposed to judge, we're supposed to forgive, but um, it's like forgiveness does not mean that there aren't consequences. Like you could forgive someone and also dish out consequences. And some consequences are permanent. And Like it like sickens me to think of someone doing something so messed up that they can never have a normal life again. But that's too bad because I will always choose innocent children over a predator. I don't really care about a predator's hurt feelings. Yeah, and they'll probably be lonely the rest of their lives, but I don't know what makes them the way that they are. Um, I don't think anyone says, "Oh, I wish I could be a social outcast." I would love for everyone to hate my guts. So I don't get it. So anyway, that's what I've been dealing with the last couple weeks, and it's been very disturbing. Um, and I actually I witnessed this guy befriending all of these little boys, like getting down on their level and just interacting and playing with them. And he went up to this toddler, started visiting with him, and I saw that his mom looked very uncomfortable. And I knew her, and I called her later and I said, "Hey, I just want to let you know I saw how uncomfortable you looked. I am getting rid of him. He's not going to be the photographer anymore." And she said, "Yeah, I did. I felt really uncomfortable," but she didn't want to judge. Yeah, they really play on everyone's sense of guilt. It's like very manipulative. And there are times where people thought that I was unforgiving or on a witch hunt or something. But nope. I'm just trying to protect kids, and I just recognize this awful behavior when I see it. And if you tell a grown man, I don't care what disorder they have, if you tell them this is what it looks like when you do X, Y, and Z, and they continue to do it, then we can only assume that they have bad intentions. I agree with that, Alora. She says we have to trust our gut feelings. I like to think it's our guardian angels. But then a whole other subject is what to do when they're out of prison and what they should be allowed to do when they're out. Uh, I just whether they're still in the registry or not, if you are attracted to children, you should not talk to any children. You should not talk about them. Like I don't want to hear any comments or any compliments or anything about my children from pedophiles. No, thank you. I don't care if it's the nicest compliment in the world. Just no. I don't want to hear it. It's gotten really old. I agree with that, Alora. They shouldn't be around any children. And you would think that they would want to keep themselves free from suspicion. Like if people see that they're not making any efforts to be around children, they might go, okay, he's he's staying clean. Um, yeah, I know a guy who tests the limits, and I'm livid about it.
But, it doesn't help when the state doesn't give him any time, only gives him probation and treatment for 2 or 3 years, and then he's not publicly on a registry. So, I mean, yeah, there are times where, like, their arrest was like a big deal and it was like in a newspaper. That's handy because people can Google and go, okay, I'm gonna stay away from that guy. Um, but that is just not always the case. It might be more difficult to find out that information. So thank you for listening. Um, I would like to make like a coherent video about this. I've just been thinking this over and what exactly I should say in a video regarding the subject. Um, yeah, I know that there are certain words that will trigger YouTube. So, um, yeah, trust your instincts. Like I was able, so my friend who said that she didn't want to judge, I called her. And actually, I emailed her. I said, "Hey, I just want to let you know. I'm like, remember the creepy photographer? He was arrested." So she was very grateful. Said it was good to know that her instincts were on and that she wasn't being judgmental. At this point, I just don't care if I'm being judgmental. It's like if in this day and age, people should know what the etiquette is when it comes to people's children. Like I've had my own experiences, and like when you have enough experiences, it just really starts to get to you. And just like my mom, I don't want things to happen to my girls that happened to me. And I used to get mad at my mom because she wouldn't let me go play at the park by myself like my brother got to, and she said, "Well, he's a boy." I'm like, "But it's right next to so and so's house." She's like, "No." Like now I totally understand her fears, and I have the same conversations with Sabrina, but a younger age for her, where she's like, "Why can't I go to the park?" Like you can't go by yourself. Pete's sake. And it's sad that I have to tell her about the bad things that people do. I don't want her to have to worry about such things, but that's just yeah, this is how things are. It's what we have to do to protect our kids. Is we don't have to go into graphic detail, but just like some some people are bad, do bad things to children. I love our pediatrician so much. I absolutely love him. Every single time my kids have an appointment with him, he tells them. First, he asks me, "What do they call their private parts?" Because some some people use like nicknames for them, and so the kid might not know what they're talking about. So we cover that, and then he says, "Okay, this is only okay if mom and dad are present, as far as like examining them goes, and it is never okay for anyone to touch you here." I so appreciate that.
Like, he's just he's the greatest. And I was like, I wonder how many kids that he's helped because he's been so direct about that. Well, oh, I've been on here quite a long time now. It's 2:35 a.m. We have an egg hunt in the morning, and I have to drive Andrew to work. But thanks so much for listening. Um, I'm doing a little better than I was. Like, I had a total breakdown over the situation with the guy who got arrested. Like, on one hand, I was relieved he finally got arrested, but it took so long. It's horrific to think like how many victims there are. People let him babysit. So I'm hoping. Hey Barnes, thank you. Um, I'm hoping that police will have the grounds to get access to his hard drive. So I asked my brother about this. I said, so if someone is arrested for molestation, do they automatically get to check their hard drive? And he says, do you want a yes or no answer, or do you want a nuanced answer? And I was like, okay, nuanced. And so yeah, he explained a bit. It just depends on the situation. But I think because he was like the paparazzi for little boys, I mean, guys, countless photos, countless photos. Um, I would hope they would have the grounds to check his hard drive because I think they're going to find he had many non-verbal victims. So please, yeah, please pray for me and my friends who have been affected by this. Um, it's been very stressful. And I'm actually hoping that court will be open for it because I want to be there. I want to hear what he has to say, if anything, and I want to see how things happened the way they did and what things were done to try to deal with him. Because there's this like, where is the line? Like when someone's grooming, when does it cross into illegal territory? Like there was also a situation at our school. My daughter's school, there was a man who was arrested, another man who was obsessed with little boys. And again, I can't give too much detail about it. Not because I'm protecting the guy or anything, but it would just give too much info about my kid's school. But someone from the school district said, can I call you? And you do not tell anyone I called you. Because I guess it's in their contract that they're not allowed to talk about things like this if it happens. And she said, I think the victim should sue the school district because she said, she's like, a bunch of us were pointing out for a long time that this guy was grooming kids, that he was obsessed with the little boys. They gave him tons of attention. And she said, they just moved him to a different school. And he ended up at my daughter's school at one point. And then when lockdown happened, they moved him into a different situation. And the best part was when he had just posted bail and the sheriff was waiting for him and immediately arrested him again. And I'm sure they planned it that way. Like, we're gonna screw him over. He just paid so much bail. We're gonna throw him right back in jail. And he's still awaiting trial. And that was years ago. Oh man. Yeah, Yeah, and he didn't get bail this time. Hallelujah. No bail for him. That's what I was hoping would happen to this other guy. Like, he posted bail again, and so I've been like, I'm always checking, going, did he get arrested again yet? Because I don't know if the news is going to keep following up and saying, yeah, he got arrested again. Like, I know he will. I'm sure he will, because his trial isn't until next month or so. Like, I'm sure there's going to be more victims, and I think it'll take like, I think it would take one more victim for them to say, okay, you don't get bail. So, uh, anyway, pervert suck. Thank you for listening. Oh, also scammer suck, and but you guys are awesome. I love you. Thank you for chatting with me. Can't say I didn't get to say hi to you. Hi. All right, I'm gonna go to bed. I feel kind of wired now, though. All right, good night. Thanks again.